If they told you that going 90 days without FAP was just controlling yourself, you were lied to. It's not just about stopping playing, it's about rewiring your brain, unlocking creative energy, and discovering a version of yourself you never knew existed. The truth is that excessive masturbation not only destroys your discipline but silently sabotages you, day after day. And no, this isn't moralistic talk, it's neuroscience, it's vital energy being drained for momentary pleasure. During these 90 days, I went through phases that no one talks about in motivational videos. There was pain, emptiness, and even days when I thought it was getting worse. But he also had absurd mental clarity, spontaneous confidence, laser focus, and a social magnetism that seems like something out of a movie. Does it seem exaggerated? So it is. I thought so too, until I lived in my skin. Each week, my body showed signs. Each month, my mind grew stronger. It's as if I've rediscovered the manual for my own existence. And the craziest, most guys will never experience this because they give up just when the change starts to happen. It's like abandoning a gold mine after digging for days. In this video, I'm going to open up the game and show you exactly what these 90 days were like, day by day, phase by phase. Not with ready-made phrases, but with the naked, raw, and transformative truth. If you're looking to truly know yourself and access a strength that no one taught you how to use, stay until the end. In the first 4 days of the semen retention journey, what weighs the most is not the body, but the mind. Guilt over past relapses mixes with silent anxiety, creating an emotional fog that suffocates spirits. The brain, conditioned to constant stimulation, protests with sabotaging thoughts, such as, "Just one more time won't hurt." This is where many give up, because they were not prepared to deal with this emotional weight right away. But it is precisely this discomfort that separates the beginners from the committed. Those who endure this turbulent start are already one step ahead of the majority. It's common, at the beginning, for the guy to feel more tired than energized, as if he was missing something. But it's not loss, it's detox. Imagine someone who was addicted to sugar for years trying to live without sweets. The first days are pure abstinence. With semen retention, it is the same logic. The body is screaming because it is reprogramming itself. Here it is worth drinking lots of water, going to bed early, and avoiding digital triggers, such as social networks and movies that activate the impulse. The feeling of isolation also hits hard. You try to explain what you're doing and no one understands. They will call you crazy, conservative, or repressed. But it's at this moment that you learn something valuable. You don't need the approval of others to follow a higher path. And for those who feel lonely in this process, here's a practical tip. Look for communities on Telegram, Reddit, or YouTube of people who practice semen retention. Connecting with others who share the same goal strengthens your journey. Another real challenge is physical drive. The body manifests itself frequently, whether through erotic dreams, spontaneous erections, or restlessness. And that's normal. The secret here is not to suppress the desire, but to redirect it. A powerful technique is physical exercise with intention. Don't just go to the gym to work out your body, go transmute your energy. Do high-intensity training, martial arts, or running. Use tension as fuel. This calms the body and strengthens the mind. And finally, the most important thing at the beginning is commitment to the decision. What will keep you firm is not willpower, but purpose. Why do you want to beat masturbation? Why did you decide to start semen retention? Write this down on paper. Read every day. Because without a strong why, any difficulty becomes an excuse. And it is precisely in this initial phase that the seeds of what will blossom in the coming days are planted. Around the 10th day of semen retention, something unexpected happens. The energy that previously seemed to grow disappears. It's as if the fire has gone out and everything has turned gray. Many report a lack of libido, a total lack of motivation, and even a certain emotional emptiness. This is the famous flatline, a stage that is confusing because it comes right after a few days of euphoria and self-confidence. The mistake of many think they regressed. But in reality, this is an internal recalibration happening in silence. During this period, the brain goes into reboot mode. He begins to adjust to a new reality, without the intense stimuli that previously dominated his routine. Dopamine receptors are realigning. Believe me, this is neuroscience in action. The problem is that no one tells you that. You just feel like you are off and start to doubt whether semen retention is working. But, my friend, it is precisely at this point that profound transformation is being shaped, just behind the scenes. One of the secrets to getting through this phase is to stop expecting external results. This part of the journey is more internal than any other. Take the opportunity to observe yourself. How is your sleep? Your mood? Your appetite? This is the ideal time to dive into self-care habits. Silent meditation, cold baths, introspective reading. I recommend books like The Power of Now, by Idi0t, and Meditations, by Marcus Aurelius. They teach you how to live in the present, and the flatline demands that of you. Avoid the temptation to fill the void with distractions. No marathoning series or immersing yourself in social media hoping to feel something new. This only feeds the old cycle. Instead, establish small routines with simple goals. Sunbathe in the morning, walk for 30 minutes listening to something inspiring, write down 3 things you're grateful for. These practices are little anchors of sanity during the flatline. What's more, they show the brain that you don't need immediate dopamine to feel alive. If you are a man looking for more energy, focus, and self-control, I have prepared a powerful ebook that will show you how semen retention can transform your life. Link in the first pinned comment. Most give up here because they think the magic is over. But this is the silent test of the process. It is the desert before the fertile land. And if you can endure without expectations, you will emerge from this valley with a clarity that few experience. Because, after the darkness, comes a new light, but with it, other dangers arise that few people realize. When a person passes the 30-day mark of semen retention, something curious happens. They feel invincible. Your mood improves, your gaze becomes firmer, and your self-confidence soars. It seems like nothing can stop her. But, ironically, that is where the danger lies. This phase is known as the inflated ego of the journey. The energy is real, but the ego wants to use it to show off, dominate conversations, attract validation, and this can be a trap. The subject begins to think he can do anything, and that includes testing his own limits. He flirts with everyone, trying to prove that his energy is strong, as if he needed external approval. It's like someone who has just left the gym and already wants to take off their shirt in the street. This phase is dangerous because the person confuses inner power with arrogance. Many fall back here, not out of weakness, but out of poorly channeled excess confidence. Overflowing energy can turn into uncontrolled pride. Here's a practical tip. When you feel that self-confidence kicking in, channel it into construction, not seduction. Instead of using your energy to impress others, use it to impress yourself. Start a new project. Learn a skill. Record videos, read more dense books, study investments, marketing, or public speaking. This is the perfect time to plant seeds that will bear real fruit, not just passing applause. This is the ideal time to develop humility with high energy. A really strong man doesn't need to prove anything. His presence already communicates strength. So, observe yourself. Are you using your energy to build or to show off? Do you have the posture of a king or the vanity of a boy? A good exercise here is voluntary silence. Take 1 day a week to talk as little as possible and listen more. This gives you control over your own power and reduces the impulsiveness that this phase brings. And when you master this phase without losing yourself in ego, you unlock something rare: balance. You no longer depend on praise, nor do you need to attract attention. You start moving with consistency, not anxiety. But just when that happens, comes the slower, more steady stage, where growth is invisible but rock solid. After the euphoria and ego tests comes a less glamorous but extremely powerful phase: gradual growth. Here there are no intense peaks or sudden drops, there is stability. Semen retention begins to be integrated into the lifestyle as something natural, not as a sacrifice. The mind becomes more centered, emotions more stable, and focus sharper. Few talk about this, because it is not an Instagram phase, but it is in this phase that the real man begins to be forged. It is at this stage that discipline begins to blossom spontaneously. You wake up earlier, feel like producing, realize that you procrastinate less. It's as if the brain has been reprogrammed to seek fulfillment instead of instant pleasure. Here, many report greater clarity in decisions and improved intuition. A practical example: you begin to notice which people drain your energy and naturally move away from them, without drama, just with wisdom. This is silent evolution. Semen retention at this stage is already starting to bear visible fruit. Your communication improves, your productivity increases, and relationships gain more depth. What was once effort now becomes instinct. Conversations become more mindful. You listen more, respond better, feel when to speak or be silent. Sexual energy, once a burden, becomes a living presence that elevates everything you do. Whether writing a text, teaching a class, or taking care of your body. A powerful tip for this phase: take advantage of the moment of stability to learn something new and complex. Take a dense course, like programming, copywriting, or even classical philosophy. Your brain will absorb it more easily now. And besides, set monthly goals, not daily ones. The man who thinks in the long term stands out. A simple habit spreadsheet gives you control that few others have. Whoever dominates your days, dominates your life. You will notice that you are more at peace with yourself. Anxiety disappears, internal demands decrease, and life begins to enter a more natural and productive rhythm. But like every journey, when everything seems to be under control, that's when you find yourself faced with an important choice. Transform this new energy into a lifestyle or use it to climb an even higher step. Reaching 101 days of semen retention is not about counting days, it's about reaping what was persistently planted. Here, the practice is no longer a conscious effort and has become part of the identity. It's no longer, I'm practicing retention, it's, I'm that kind of man now. The vital energy is firm, the mind is clear, and the emotional balance is more balanced. Self-control has become a lifestyle. And the most curious thing, external results automatically reflect this. What I'm explaining here is much more detailed in my ebook, The Power of Semen Retention. There is a simple step-by-step guide for you to apply in your everyday life. It's really worth it. At this point, many begin to incorporate new healthy habits that previously seemed impossible to maintain. Taking care of your body, your diet, and your mind becomes something pleasurable. Some adopt a morning run, others delve into deep meditation, or even begin practices such as intermittent fasting, therapeutic writing, and daily reading. The secret here is quiet consistency. No rush, no ostentation, just discipline nurtured every day with purpose. The impact of this on relationships is gigantic. Conversations gain depth, decisions become more assertive, and respect comes naturally. Not because of what is said, but because of the presence that is carried. It's as if others feel the firmness without you having to explain it. Many report improvements in their professional lives, increased creativity, and even unexpected invitations to greater opportunities. Because the energy that was previously wasted is now in full manifestation. A practice that stands out at this stage is conscious journaling. Writing at night about the day's emotions, learnings, and future goals puts you at a level of clarity that few access. It's also a great time to learn how to serve, helping other beginning men on the path to semen retention, guiding friends, sharing without ego. This strengthens your journey and also creates a virtuous cycle of collective transformation. A mentor who doesn't share weakens, and here, sharing becomes a mission. You are not the same anymore. But that doesn't mean the journey is over, quite the opposite. Now that the body and mind are firm, comes the responsibility to expand even further. Because, at this point, an inevitable question arises: what to do with all this accumulated power? Now that you've seen the behind the scenes of my 90-day FAP-free journey, the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you just going to watch and go on with your life as if nothing had happened? Or will you make a courageous decision and start building the man you were born to be? Because the truth is simple and harsh. No one will save you from mediocrity if you don't stand up and act. How many times have you started and stopped? How many promises have you made to yourself and broken silently? It's time to break this cycle. Start small, but start seriously. Set real goals, cut out triggers, change your routine, and most importantly, understand that semen retention is not about depriving yourself, it's about transforming yourself. It's about leveling up. And those who don't have the discipline to do this won't be able to handle the reward that comes later. So I ask you, how much of your energy have you given away for free? How many more days of your life will you let go down the drain without purpose? If this video really touched you, comment below, "My time has come, I want to see who is really willing to break out of the average and become a reference." And of course, if you like this content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next episodes. Here we talk for real, without filters, without nonsense. And this is just the beginning. Don't leave it for later. Click on the first pinned comment, purchase the ebook and start changing your energy, your mind and your life today.